이렇게 시간이 안 가는지 정말 버스 안에서 고잉 이불 속에서 고잉은 언제나 너에게 고잉.
Hello everyone. So my name is Jessica Apolinar. So our topic is all about performing arts, music and dance. So in my part, I'm going to tackle about the instrumental music. So how many times have we heard a song without the lyrics? Is it still evokes emotion and tells story? So yes, that's the power of instrumental music. So in my report, we are going to explore the world of instrumental music, specifically the type, style that have shaped. So within every rate of melody, we can see the history, the feelings, and the creativity of ancestors. So we are going to we'll try to understand the instrument used, the playing styles, and the influence that make instrumental music a vital part. So we'll look at how instrumental music continues to evolve and influence in our time today. So hopefully this report will give you a deeper understanding of the freedom and beauty of instrumental music. So let us proceed. So what is the instrumental music? So the instrumental music utilize a variety of instruments to create melodies, harmonies, and rhythm. So in type of music, the instrumental music doesn't use human voice. Instead of lyrics, instruments are used to create a melody, the harmony, and the rhythms. So the instruments are typically classified into the following categories. So first one is the string instrument. Next is the woodwind instrument. Next is the brass instrument. And the fourth is percussion instrument. And the last is the keyboard instrument. So let's start with the string instrument. So the string instruments, this instrument produce sound by vibrating the string. So in musical classification, string instruments produce sound from vibrating the strings when a performer strike or sounds in varying manners. So such as a common example of the string instrument is the violin and guitar. So the violin, the modern violin, it has 4 strings, no? And the guitar typically it has 6 strings. So each strings has different thickness. Starting from the thinnest strings, it is called the string 1, and then next is string 2, and so on. So next is woodwind instrument. It is the family of musical instrument that produce sound by blowing air through a reed or mouthpiece of vibrating the player's lips. The common example of woodwind instrument is such as the flute, the clarinet, and the oboes. So the instrument in this family all used to be made of the wood, which gives them the name the woodwinds. But today they are made of wood, metal, plastic, or some combinations. They are basically narrow pipes with holes and opening at the bottom and a mouthpiece at the top. So next is a brass instrument. So what is a brass instrument? The bass instruments. These instruments produce sound by blowing air through a mouthpiece and vibrating the player's lips, such as the brass players use their breath to produce sound. So the common example of brass instrument is the trumpet and trombones and tubas. Next is a percussion instrument. So a percussion instrument, it is a musical instrument that is surrounded by being struck or scraped by a better including a touch or including beaters or rub by hand, or you're just doing like this or struck against another similar instrument. So for example of a percussion instrument is the drums, the cymbals, the xylophones, and commonly example event by using percussion instrument is like banda. They use drums, the cymbals, and etc. Is the keyboard instrument. So a keyboard instrument, basically music instruments played using a keyboard, a row of levels that are pressed using by fingers. So the most common of these are the piano, the organ, the synthesizer, to allow players to produce different notes. So let us proceed. Music combined with other arts. The music often collaborates with other art forms, creating unique and immersive experience. So first, some notable examples include the opera. So what is opera? So there are art forms that beautifully demonstrate the fusion of music with other artistic elements. So first is the opera. So the opera, it is the epitome of music combined with drama and visual arts. So it is a grand theatrical experience where singers convey emotions and narratives through song. So while elaborate costumes, the stunning scenery, and the theatrical makeup enhance storytelling. So the opera, it is performed in theater. So the music is gihimo na siya sa usa ka composer that maka-drives og emotions. And then the drama, so written, it is a herbis that tells story, the character, and conflict. So the visual arts they usually wear is costumes, the costume scenery, the makeup to immerse the audience. So for example of opera is The Marriage of Figaro by Mozart. So the music, all characters express themselves through singing and often feature grand themes, loves, loss, and revenge. So next is the operetta. So the operetta, it is a lighter, more comedic from opera. So it was like just like the opera, but the operetta, it is a lighter and more comedic form of opera. It is like operetta, just like opera, but operetta is more lighter than the opera. So often featuring spoken dialogues, interspersed with musical members. It typically focuses on romantic themes and light-hearted situations. So in music, often uses a mix of classification and popular styles with kanang catchy melodies and ensemble numbers. So the libretto is typically humorous and romantic rag features. Kanang nag-feature ni siya sa witty world play and satire. So it also wear costumes and the scenery trend to be more elaborate and mas mahika pa siya kaysa sa opera. So for example of the operetta is The Merry Widow. The song of the operetta is easy to remember, and the libretto is the happy endings. Libretto, which means the lyrics of the operetta. So next is a musical. So in theatrical performance, they tell a story through a combination of spoken dialogue, singing, and dancing. So they often feature original music and lyrics. So it composed specifically for the musical, often with a blend of styles and suit of the story. So the libretto is typically dramatic narrative with characters and conflicts. So in dance, choreography play a significant role in musical because it often integrated into the story and enhancing the emotional impact and deciding to entertain the audience. And for example of the musical is The West Side Story. So next is the oratorio. So in the oratorio is a large-scale musical composition for chorus, soloist, and orchestra. So it often tells a story, usually based on a biblical or historical theme. So nag-focus siya sa mga biblical ba kanang about God mga ana. So in music, ginakompose na siya into a classical style which with elaborate vocal writing and orchestral accompaniment. It has also a libretto, but typically narrative with characters. Oratorios are often performed in concert settings with minimal visual elements or without costume sets. So, the libretto is it has a large number of performers. So, it means so daghan kay sila nga mo perform ana. So, for example of the oratorio is the Messiah by Handel. So next is the five is cantata. So, a cantata, it is a shorter or less elaborate. It means mubo og gamay siya kaysa sa kanang oratorio. So, shorter and less elaborate musical composition than oratorio. So, it can be either sacred or secular, and it often feature chorus, the soloist, and instrumental accompaniment. So, in music, it composed in a variety of styles from Baroque to modern with a focus on vocal writing. So, the libretto can be narrative, lyrical, often exploring the themes of faith, love, and nature. So, typically, cantata performed in concert settings, but some may incorporate usual elements like stage lighting or projection. So, ang cantata is smaller in symbol of performance than oratorio. So, ako ang oratorio is daghan ang mo-perform nila. In cantata is gamay ra sila. Then, usually, mo-perform sila in concert settings. No? Kanang wala ra sila stage ba? So, the example of cantata is the cantata BWV 140 by Bach. So, the five art forms demonstrate the versatility and power of music. So, when combined with other artistic elements, they are a wide range of experiences, from the grand spectacle opera to the intimate reflections of cantata. So that's all. Thank you.